If you're interviewing for data roles, then you know this question is coming. What's the difference between row number, rank, and dense rank? And if you don't know the answer or you hesitate, red flag. You're not gonna get the job. In the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna tell you exactly what a window function is in SQL, the most common business questions that require ranking functions, and finally, what is the difference between row number, rank, and dense rank, along with hands-on coding questions that you will see in interviews. So make sure you stay to the end, because if you skip out early, you'll probably fail your interviews and never land a data role. And don't forget to subscribe because I know you want to. First thing first, let me tell you exactly what a window function is, because it's actually one of the most misunderstood concepts in SQL. And let's be honest, everybody's confused by them. So I'm gonna make it simple. A window function is a SQL function that performs a calculation across a set of rows related to the current row. The simplest way to think about it is that group by and aggregate functions in SQL summarize a bunch of rows and collapse them into one row or one output per group. And you lose all of the row level detail and row level granularity. It's summarizing a group of rows into one final output. But on the other hand, a window function keeps all the rows and analyzes all of the rows within that window. So you're not losing all the individual rows and the granularity of the row level detail like you do with group by and aggregate functions. And a lot of aggregate functions can actually be used as window functions without grouping, such as sum, average, count, min, max, and more. But today we're actually here to learn the 3 ranking functions because it's one of the most commonly asked interview questions in all data roles. The 3 ranking window functions you have to know in SQL are row number, rank, and dense rank. Syntax-wise, they're actually set up in the exact same way, but it's the way that they calculate the rankings under the hood that makes them different. So Jess, why do we actually have to understand these ranking functions outside of interviews? What business questions can we actually answer with them? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. Who are our top performers? Who are the top 3 sales reps in each region? What are our top 5 best-selling products? Who are our highest value customers? Which transactions look suspicious? Which customers are most likely to churn? Which of our stores are the most underperforming? What's the first purchase per customer? What's the most recent purchase per customer? These are only a few business question examples, but seriously, the possibilities are endless. Think about different things that you do in your own industry to rank and categorize things. There's a 99% chance you're going to use ranking functions at some point in a data career. And by the way, that statistic is completely made up by me. And if you want to get started learning SQL today, check out my freebie intro course below. It's completely free and you'll actually build your first mini project in SQL in only 30 minutes, even with no prior experience. So I'll see you there. Now let's go over the differences between row number, rank, and dense rank. Syntax-wise, these ranking functions are set up the exact same way, but it's the way that they're calculated under the hood that makes them different. And these are the precise differences that interviewers are looking for you to highlight. And if you're ranking things on the job and you use the wrong one, you can get a totally wrong calculation if you use the wrong one. First, let's look at row number because it's the easiest and it's actually used to solve most business questions. Row number is going to give a unique chronological sequential number for every single row in the data set. That means that every ranking value is unique and can only be used once. So if any values are tied, they're gonna have different row numbers. Row number does not consider ties or duplicates. It doesn't care. They're all gonna get different ranking values. So the ranking values are gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, no duplicates, all different. Rank is where things are a little bit different. If there are any tied values or duplicates with rank, they're gonna receive the same ranking value. So if you have 2 people tied for first place, they're both gonna get 1 as a ranking value. And then rank is actually gonna skip ranking values after the ties and consider all the rows above when assigning the next ranking value. So if there are ties, it will skip ranking values and some ranking values will be missing. Dense rank is the exact same in rank in the way that it handles tied values. They will also receive the same ranking value. But dense rank is different because of what it does after the tied values. After tied values, dense rank goes to the next sequential ranking number, leaving no gaps in the ranking numbers. This is the simplest way to differentiate between these, and that's the exact answer that an interviewer is going to be looking for. Now let's get down and dirty and get our hands into some code so I can actually show you the syntax and exactly how to implement all of these ranking functions. Here we have a basic orders table. We have the orders, product ID, customer ID, quantity, the price, the currency, payment method, order date, just really basic order information. Now let's use our ranking functions to answer the question, what is the most recent order in our data set? First, I'm gonna pull in a few fields, order ID, customer ID, order date, and then our row number ranking function. I'm gonna use row number here because right now we're not really concerned with duplicates. I just wanna order all of our orders in order from most recent to least recent. And yes, you could just use order by here, but for the sake of learning window functions, we're gonna use row number because we're gonna build on this. So we're gonna start with our row number ranking function, and then we're gonna follow it with over. Inside over, we're gonna add an order by because we need to order by order date descending from largest to smallest. Now that we can see that all of our orders are ordered by order date with the most recent on top, which is October 30th, 2025, that has a ranking value of 1, and the ranking values go down sequentially all the way to the very last one, which is 1/1/2024. And notice how row number ignores all of the duplicate or tied ranked values. So we have a bunch of orders placed on 10/30/2025, but they all have different row numbers. There are no duplicate row numbers. Let's see how this changes when we switch the row number to rank. Now we can see that rank is labeling all of the 10/30 order dates with the ranking value 1 because they're all the same, they're all tied. And then once we get to our second most recent date, 10/29/2025, it receives a ranking value of 16 because there are 15 orders before it. So it is considering the tied values when assigning the ranks, and it also considers them when moving to the next ranking value as well. And now adding in dense rank, we can really see the differentiation here because at 10/29, the second highest ranking value, we have the number 2 as our dense rank value. So instead of skipping to 16 because there are 15 rows above it, it goes to the next sequential ranking value, leaving no gaps in the ranking value. And just by using these ranking functions, we can answer our original business question: what is the most recent order date? And that's gonna be 10/30/2025 because that's our largest order date, our most recent in the data set. If we only cared about the actual date itself, we would probably just use row number because it doesn't matter which transaction we look at on that most recent date. We could use any of them, which means we don't really care about ties. If we wanted to pull a list of all the orders on that most recent order date and we don't want to exclude any tied values, then we'd probably want to use rank. And then we could filter for all the ranking values that equal 1. That way we're not cutting any out. And we'd probably want to use dense rank if the business question was which orders were placed on the second most recent order date, because row number and ranking number skip straight to 16 and we don't have a second most recent order date. So those small differences in calculations can answer very different business questions. So sometimes it really does matter which ranking function you choose because they answer different business questions. You can use the qualify clause to filter your data set for where the row number equals 1. Qualify is basically a where clause, but for window functions. Or another example is you could filter for where the dense rank equals 2, and that's gonna get all of the orders that were placed on the second most recent order date. And if you're old school or you're in a SQL environment that doesn't support the qualify clause, you would have to save all of this as a CTE and then filter the result using a where clause and a separate select statement below. Okay, now let's crank this up one more notch because this is gonna take your ranking functions to the next level. If you remember our previous business question, we were looking in the entire data set to find the most recent order. But what if we want to add in another dimension and make it, what is the most recent order per customer? Because now we're going to be grouping by something. We're going to be grouping by customer. So what do you think we should use? If you're thinking we should use the group by clause, you're incorrect. Sorry if I tricked you. We're actually gonna use partition by. Let me show you how to do it. All you have to do is add in partition by customer ID or whatever field you wanna partition by inside over before order by for your window function. And now what it's gonna do is it's gonna take your entire data set and partition by that thing. It's gonna sort out all of the customers into groups. It's gonna have one customer ID over here, one customer ID over here, one customer ID over here, and then within each partition or window or group, then it's gonna order by order date and grab the most recent one. So we're basically adding in a level of complexity and segmenting our data into groups before doing the calculation. So now let's look at an example. Let's look at customer ID 7922. We have all of their orders ranked all the way down until I get to the very end of this customer's orders, and we have 224 row numbers. That means 224 different orders, since row number assigns a unique value for every row. But since we can see that the dense ranking value is only 192, that suggests that we did skip ranking values due to ties. It looks like they had 2 orders placed on March 9th, and even though they got different row numbers, they got the same ranking number value and dense rank number value. And at the very end of this customer's orders, all of the rankings start all over and the calculations begin at step 1 for the next customer. And that's how partition by works inside of your ranking functions. Now you're fully prepared to answer one of the most common interview questions in SQL. What are the ranking functions in SQL, and what's the difference between row number, rank, and dense rank? If you're preparing for a data interview, make sure you check out my 7 window functions video here. And if you want to get started in SQL today for free, make sure to grab my freebie intro course below. Until next time, sending you lots of big data energy. Bye.